Hey everybody, how's it going? Chris here, and welcome to my Famicom Cave series, which I talk about everything video games related to me, mostly Nintendo. So first off, this video is going to be a response or an entry into reader1717's giveaway about wanting to see your other hobbies. Many of you guys already know, of course, this is my other major collecting hobby besides comic books, and not growing as fast as my comic book collection, but something I really enjoy, something I've been doing since I've been a kid, of course, since the first Nintendo. And I have other game systems. I have the PS2, PS3. I do not prefer Xbox. I don't think I would ever get an Xbox, but mostly get PlayStation only for a couple of series that are really good, which are the Resident Evil series. And that's the only reason I have a PlayStation. So things like this, Resident Evil Dead Aim. Haven't completed it yet, really got to. Same with this. Outbreak file number 2. I got to get file number 1. I'm trying to find a really good price for that. I do have some other games maybe for sale or trade if anybody wants to, if they got a file number 1 that's complete that they want to sell to me or trade, preferably want to not spend any money. So that's the only reason I have the PlayStation. Their PlayStation 3, I only get that for like Prince of Persia's or Resident Evils, or Assassin's Creed, those kind of things. Those are I'm really fond of, and I'll be mentioning a little bit about the Assassin's Creed series shortly here. But yeah, of course, these are my systems from my childhood. These are all the original ones. I did have another boxed one, a boxed Nintendo. Can you see that all right? Yeah. So, anyways, you see, I got the original Nintendo, Super Nintendo, 64, and GameCube. I'm trying to grow my cartridge-based games more than my disc-based games. And the Famicom here, this is probably one of my favorites. And I'll be mentioning something about this too later in the video here. So that's my other collecting, and mostly Legend of Zelda stuff that I want to get, some Wolverine stuff. And some of just the old classic, popular games. Other than that, I might look towards, the games that are not affordable. Maybe looking into some type of EverDrive to play emulated games. It's not even really an emulation, really, but because you're playing the original ROMs, but they're putting it onto an SD card, into a cartridge, which you can play off of the system. I don't like playing on computers. So that's kind of the way my collecting is going. Really got to do it very economically, because I have to share my video game collecting habits with my comic book collecting habits. So yeah, that's what I gotta do. So this one's coming along very slowly, and just like the comic books, they're not very I don't know, out here. You have to do online shopping, or you have to travel to the city. Very hard for me to get good prices for video games around here. But yeah, that's I really like it. Another childhood thing that I've been doing, since the late 80s, early 90s. So yeah, there you go. There's my entry into that giveaway. Now I want to get into some things about my recent collecting habits and kind of what's going on with me in the video game world. And we'll start with the first thing here, pre-orders. So there is a video game that I will be pre-ordering tonight, or that my wife will be for me, because I'll be at work. She has to go to the city, so she's going to pre-order a video game for me at GameStop. But first, the one that I've already ordered is Hyrule Warriors, which does involve the Legend of Zelda universe. It's going to be a very different game that I'm used to. I'm picking up because it is Legend of Zelda, but it's basically Destiny. I think it's called Destiny Warriors. Kind of like an RPG battle strategy game. I've never played it. Never really been into those kind of games very much. So I really don't know what to expect. it looks beautiful, looks really interesting on all of the you know, trailers and everything like that. I'm pretty excited to get it just to play as Link again, and one that character that they showed that I'm really excited to play as well if I can is Ganon. Ganondorf looks amazing, and he kind of looks like a cross between the classic Ocarina of Time Ganon and kind of a mix of some design elements from Skyward Sword. I cannot remember what they called that character, but to me it was kind of like the beginnings of Ganondorf, the final battle with the character. And now if anybody can remember what his name was, please tell me. But you know, he had the long red hair, just big, bulky, as black. Oh, it was amazing. It was a great final battle. But I think that was kind of like the spirit, the essence of Ganondorf. So some of those design elements in there too, really beautiful. So that's coming in end of September. So I'm looking forward to the release, but I'm really not sure how well I'm going to particularly like the game. And if I have to, I'll struggle through it just so I can play Link. But so far, not my type of you know, game. I really like the action adventure, puzzle solving of all the other Legend of Zeldas, which is why I buy such games like Assassin's Creed, because there's a good story. I love a good story, and there's, you know, puzzle solving, you know, and adventure. That's the genre I like. Same with Prince of Persia. That's what's in there. And God of War, even the same type of strategy. It's a lot of, you know, button mashing, destroy enemies, but there's still a beautiful story and a progression that you have to go through the game, solving puzzles. So that's why I get those games that I like. The next pre-order is Assassin's Creed Rogue. I'm looking forward to a new Assassin's Creed game. Really amazing. I don't know if you saw above there when I was showing up. Did I show up there? Yeah. Anyways, up in the closet there, you can see some Assassin's Creed stuff. Since the first Assassin's Creed, I've been getting the collector's editions, and I only have a PlayStation 3 right now. I do not want to upgrade or go to a PlayStation 4 until I have to. So what's bugging me about this, though, I'm really looking forward to Assassin's Creed Rogue, and it's going to be for the PlayStation 3. But so far, it doesn't look like there's any kind of collector's edition. But also that there's another Assassin's Creed game, Assassin's Creed Unity, which is only going to be, I think, Xbox One and PS4. So I do not want to get it. I don't think I need to upgrade yet. They're still supporting the PlayStation 3, obviously, since they're putting out games that are only going to be for that, because the Rogue, Assassin's Creed Rogue, is going to be like Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, and Unity is going to be on the next-gen consoles. And if I upgraded, I still don't think I'd be able to play the details are a little fuzzy for me on this, but if I upgraded to a PS4, I don't think I'd really be able to play my PlayStation 3, or some of the articles that I've read where you'd be able to use your PlayStation 3 game as kind of an access key to play it, but you'd still have to pay for playing the PlayStation 3 version on your PS4. Just some really messed up, weird stuff. Like, just make things backwards compatible. It's just ridiculous. If you're making a game for your PlayStation and you're still supporting your previous generation and making games for them, make that available to all your users, because I'm kind of mad about this, because I really want to get it, and I want to get the collector's edition, which is really, really cool, but I won't have any way to play it if I get the PlayStation 4 collector's edition. You know, and I don't have the money to buy another PlayStation right now, and like I was saying, with the confusion of how to be able to play PlayStation 3 games on your PS4, I most likely would have to keep my PlayStation 3 and get another system, And it kind of feels like, to me, like an Apple thing where they just want you to buy anything and everything, and there's a new one every so often, but there's only certain features on the older, previous generation of tech. Yeah, it's just kind of ridiculous. So, yeah, that's the part that's making me mad. Yet I am excited to play Assassin's Creed Rogue, but really wishing as well I'd be able to play Assassin's Creed Unity and get that collector's edition. So if I don't get it, I don't know if I'll ever be able to get it, and which kind of, for me as a collector of things, when I decide to collect a certain genre and just the collector's edition of things, kind of breaks the continuity of that, and I'm just kind of really bummed out about that, that I don't know if I'll be able to ever play it or get the collector's edition of it. Yeah. So let's see what else. The other thing that I want to touch on quickly here for you guys, just really interesting. I've been checking out a lot of mods lately, and one that I'd really like to challenge people who do mods is to see, because I've never seen this on YouTube, but one of the biggest problems with the Famicom is the very short cords. So I've seen on eBay that there was an old third-party wireless controller, which I believe you hooked up into this port, and kind of like the old Nintendo infrared controllers that they had. I can't remember what was that called, but there was an infrared, wireless device. So kind of challenge those people who do mods, because I've never seen one on YouTube, is to try to come up a way with making the original controllers without compromising the shell of the the console or the things, just disconnecting wires. If you got to put on batteries, maybe you can take out the controller, hook it up to a battery system, and then have a device that you can solder inside, where you can upgrade, the system so that it'll be able to take those wireless, that wireless feed. I think that'd be really interesting. Being able to solder and change up the inside of the board, I think is a good way of modifying, as long as you're not changing and compromising the actual device, and you can revert everything back to original. I accept those mods. There's a lot of ones myself that I wouldn't want to do that look really cool, really great job to all those guys out there who do them, but paint jobs or drilling into the shells and things like that, changing it from the original is hard for me to accept, just as a collector. But that would be really interesting for you guys to do something like that. So if anybody wants to do that, there's a lot of very talented people who do mods and soldering and working with the components inside these old Famicoms and old Nintendos. Really brilliant, and changing LEDs and really cool stuff. But I've never seen a wireless controller, and that would make me want to play my Famicom more if I could just have it be able to take wireless but with the original controller. So if I can take this off, hook it up to a wireless device, without compromising, again, without cutting wires or drilling holes, just plug it into that wireless device and battery pack, and be able to send it to here, so I can sit across the room and not 2 feet in front of my TV to be able to play the Famicom. That'd be really interesting. So anyways, that's that, you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Give me your guys' thoughts and feedback on anything that I've mentioned in this video, and I'll talk to you all later.